Hi, Faithbox family. My name is Kimberly, and today is day 24 in the month of forgiveness. It is a scripture from Hebrew chapter 12. You have come to Jesus, the one who mediates the new covenant between God and people, and to the sprinkled blood which speaks of forgiveness instead of crying out for vengeance like the blood of Abel. At the heart of Christianity and Jesus' sacrifice on the cross is a new way of living for God's people, or as the writer of Hebrew puts it, a new covenant. This new covenant is marked by a spirit of forgiveness versus a desire for vengeance. Under the old covenant, principles like eye for an eye governed God's people. Now, under God's new covenant, mercy and grace reign supreme. The truth is that if we're hoping for God to bring vengeance, or worse yet, we seek to avenge the wrongs ourselves, then we make ourselves incapable of offering true forgiveness. Vengeance and forgiveness are incompatible. To forgive is to free yourself, the other party, and the circumstance entirely to God. It's trusting that God will respond appropriately and in alignment with his view of justice. Not only does it free us from bitterness, but it also frees us from the burden we were never meant to carry. There's a lot you can unpack in this. I think the bottom line of forgiveness is that we need to start looking at each other through a lens of humanity. That it's really easy in this world, this digital world of virtual everything right now, that we forget that the other person on the other side is a human being too. That, just like we have, and just like Jesus was, when Jesus came here, he was a human being too. And he was able to love everybody. So when he sacrificed himself and sprinkled his blood, that is when we started living through a life of forgiveness instead of vengeance. It's, a turning point in just of being more nurturing. When it says vengeance and forgiveness are incompatible, it makes me think about in my heart is a garden, and I'm trying to grow the fruits of the Spirit so that I can in turn be more Christ-like in my relationship with others, God, and myself. And that you can't do those things with vengeance there. There's not room for both to exist in your heart. And that vengeance is kind of like the toxic chemicals you would put to kill the weeds, but it kills everything. So, and also, when you're holding on to that bitterness, the only person it really will negatively affect is you. It actually physically causes your body to have a physical reaction. And that bitterness just, it makes you tired. Surrendering yourself, your life, the situations to God is the only way, because it's also our way of letting him know we trust him. That where it talks about the new covenant, that we trust him, the covenant. It's like we're in a marriage, so to speak, with God, and it's our vow that we will trust him to take care of us and to right the wrongs that have been done against us. And it also doesn't mean, and I am guilty too of this, of sitting on the sidelines waiting for something to happen to the person that wronged you. To find, nothing terribly bad, but just for something to not go the way of the person that wronged you. Like, to find joy in that is not Christ-like either. So if you've not heard the song Forgiveness by Matthew West, it is fantastic. I heard it in a spin class, and it caused a whole conversation to happen and testimony with my spin instructor, which was pretty cool. But it has in the song the quote from day 18, to forgive is to set a prisoner free and discover that prisoner was you. and that burden is not what we were meant to carry. It's a fantastic song. So I pray for all of you that you have the strength and the courage to surrender it over to God, and to surrender whatever it is you need to forgive or be forgiven about in your life, that you will then feel refreshed and reset, and that you can look at each other through the lens of humanity and love each other through the fruits of the Spirit. Hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you tomorrow.